Good morning, everybody. It is Monday, December 19th, 2022. I'm meteorologist Bo Dotson. Let's get right into it. We look at the current conditions and temperatures, and I wanted to show you what's going on to our northwest up in Alaska and Canada. Incredibly cold air, minus 54 degrees across portions of Canada. This is the cold air that's moving our way. Of course, it will be modified cold air, meaning it won't be that cold, but it will be bitterly cold for our region once it arrives Thursday into Christmas weekend. We look at radar this morning, and we do have some snow showers over Missouri, but most of this is virga. Virga is precipitation that's not reaching the ground because it's just too dry. But I can't rule out a sprinkle or flurry today. I did include that in the forecast that I sent out last night. And speaking of last night, I apologize. The video had some audio problems, but I think I've corrected that today. Big story continues to be the cold air. Let's take a look at that. So we're going to pull up the EC guidance. It's been the steadiest with its solutions, and let's just move forward in time. One thing I want to point out is that ahead of the cold front Thursday, it is going to be quite mild. As a matter of fact, some locations could hit 50 degrees. The EC model even shows middle 50s over northwest Tennessee, but let's temper that down just a little bit, upper 40s to lower 50s. But check it out. Here comes the cold air. Now, these are actual air temperatures, minus 10, minus 8 in northwest Missouri, while it's 50 degrees in the Boot Hill. An incredible temperature difference developing ahead and behind the front. Don't be surprised if you walk outside 1 hour with a light jacket, and within an hour, you're going to need to be bundled up. Temperatures could fall 20 plus degrees in an hour behind this front. We'll stop here at 6 o'clock. Some of you are asking, what time is the front going to arrive? Sometimes these fronts can surge eastward faster, but for now, it appears that the front will arrive in southeast Missouri from late morning Thursday into the early afternoon hours, and from there spread eastward with Mount Vernon down to Paducah, down to Mayfield, and then down to Memphis, somewhere between 3 p.m. and 6 p.m. according to this data. Now, we will get high-resolution models data starting today, tonight, and tomorrow. The EC model, GFS models, those are not quite considered high resolution models. We like to see the high resolution because those tend to be a bit more accurate. Either way, this cold air is coming, and watch how fast this surges. This is 6 p.m., this is 9 p.m. Just races across the region with bitterly cold wind chill values, gusty winds Thursday night, Friday night, gusting above 30 miles per hour. Combine that with these temperatures, and you could have wind chills of minus 5 to minus 15 degrees. That means a heightened risk of frostbite. We're also concerned about an increased risk of house fires. Typically during weather like this, we do see an increased risk of house fires because people tend to use some heating devices improperly. We know electric bills are high, so you want to check on the elderly. You want to check on those that may not know how to use the kerosene heaters, space heaters that could fall over, tip over, things like that. Historically, we look back at analogs from cold air like this, and we see busted pipes. We do see that increased risk of frostbite, increased risk of house fires. This is going to be harsh on livestock. It's also going to be harsh on outdoor animals, pets. If your pets are cold, if you're cold, your pets are cold, okay? If you're cold, your pets are cold. So keep that in mind. This is dangerously cold air, and this is extremely cold air for our region. Anytime we dip down into the single digits or below zero, that's very cold for our area. Not sure we will break any records. We did have some very cold air in the early 1980s. It'd be hard to break those records, but either way, it's going to be cold. Now, the next question is, and I remind you to focus on impacts, okay? The impact of this weather event, first off, the main focus is on the bitterly cold air. Second focus will be on precipitation. So let's switch over here and take a look at what the data is showing. And now my going forecast is rain on late Wednesday night and Thursday, then changing to snow. The question is, how much does it snow? Also, a flash freeze appears likely. What is a flash freeze? A flash freeze is when temperatures fall so fast that the moisture on parking lots, roadways, and other surfaces does not have time to evaporate. Typically, when it turns colder, we get some wind, and it evaporates the surfaces as temperatures slowly fall. With this Arctic front, temperatures will fall so fast that some of that moisture may not have time to dry out. If that's the case, then we could have some icy patches on parking lots, icy patches on sidewalks, decks, even on roadways. Now, if the precip continues to fall as the cold air arrives, then that just enhances the risk of some icy road conditions. We're still not confident on snow totals. I've told you this for 5 days now. We're very confident on the cold air. The cold air is near certain. It's coming. The snow portion of the forecast, less confident. Still a medium confident rating, about 40% confident that the rain will change to some snow with some accumulation. My going forecast has been a dusting 1 inch to 3 inches. For planning purposes, since this is a holiday weekend coming up, we've got to make a forecast. So for planning purposes, that's my forecast. Hopefully, we don't have any snow and you don't have to deal with icy roads and you just have to deal with the cold temperatures. But for planning purposes, plan on some snow falling behind the front with a dusting 1 inch to 3 inches. I'll maintain that forecast for now and we'll see how it goes. Some of the data shows more, some of the data shows very little snow. So I've seen everything from no snow on some of the model data to over 6 inches. So my going forecast has not changed from the past few days, and that's rain changing to a period of snow with some light accumulation possible. Again, focus on impacts, and the impact will be some icy roadways. Gusty winds will be another concern. Wind gusts could top 40 miles per hour with this system in some counties. Can't rule out power outages if that were to occur. So, bottom line, bitterly cold air arrives Thursday, warm ahead of the front, mild, not warm, mild ahead of the front, bitterly cold behind the front, very low wind chills Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night, somewhat milder on Sunday, or I should say not as cold Sunday, with high temperatures in the 20s versus the teens that are likely to occur Saturday. Now, if we do have a snowpack in the region, let's say we get a little bit more snow than expected, then temperatures, you can shave a good 5 degrees off the temperatures. But either way, it's going to be cold, and that's all that matters. So plan on cold air coming in Thursday rapidly behind that cold front, and then we'll just have to watch the snow portion of the forecast. Again, my main focus has been on the bitterly cold air, with a secondary focus being on the possibility of snow. If you're not a Weather Talk subscriber, then go to www.weathertalk.com and sign up. Your subscription gets you the videos, it gets you into the weather blog, the daily weather blog. It gets you short and long range Missouri and Ohio Valley outlooks, the long range agricultural outlooks. You get app messages for severe weather, winter storms, ice storms. You get the daily forecast, all of that. Just go to weathertalk.com.